infamously called Ian a. What's your opinion on Mike Dean producing the new Nick album? I'm not even a really big Nick guy. So Jigglypuff is a social justice meme featuring a loud, obnoxious pig of a human being who is screaming her brains out at the New Hampshire College date of Milo Yiannopoulos'.
Okay, we get the idea.
Okay.
All right.
Can
So
I
he's
start
said
here?
a million times. Yeah.
So, all right, he's talked about this. By the way, I don't agree with any cracker saying the N word or any capacity, but we have to give some context to this. First thing first, who started this campaign? Who's behind it? Why are these videos popping up right now? These videos are popping up from Drake stands. The guy who posted is King Drake stan on Twitter. He's very much in with OVO. Also, the academics page on Twitter posted it first. So like they're making it as a way to get back at Anthony Fantano for his negative coverage of Drake for the last year. So we got to start.
That was where this apology was, because academics was the one who was like, oh, he said this, and everybody was just like, shut up, academics, you're a pedophile. And then that was it. Yeah.
Fuck you. Like, I mean, that's the last nigga I want to hear call out any fucking body.
Yeah, like, so we got to start there. Like, immediately, I don't respect your hate campaign because it's not coming from a place of actually trying to like take a nigga down. It's coming from a place of like,
I don't respect your hate campaign.
I don't respect your hate
because like some hate campaigns be thorough. Like, I do think, listen, I liked what Kendrick did to my goal last year. That nigga just said, I don't like you. And I was like, that's thorough. I get that. But like, when your hate campaign is based off your hate for another man, is for your love for another man because he shit on him, it's like, bro, you got to relax. Also, he has addressed this before. I don't like Anthony Fantano that much, but I know you like, don't. I like to hate on niggas for like actual moral and principle things, not just for bullshit. Anthony Fantano fancied himself a journalist, and he thought that it was okay to say these words because he was quoting people. He since learned that he was wrong for doing it, and he stopped. And I think that's a lesson that he learned over time.
Over 10 years ago.
Over 10 years ago. It's like, listen, I'm a Drake fan, chat. Y'all know me. I just got in debate with somebody from the other side. Y'all know me. I just don't like how y'all operate. That's why I don't associate myself with you niggas. You niggas are unprincipled and just do shit for the sake of clicks and views, and that bothers me. Like, you could have actually made real textured and layered arguments against him, but instead you decided to be like, oh, you're a bad person. You say bad words. Y'all, the academics literally beats bitches. What are we talking about? Like, you have no leg to stand on video. Like, I can't, like, you niggas have flimsy morals and they change based off who you like and who you don't like. That's not how to operate in the world, and that bothers me. And listen, in any other context, I will be killing Anthony Fantano, but because I know the context how we got here, it's like, man, look, doesn't make sense.
I feel like we're all, I'm waiting for Alvin to chime in and tell us that we're all on some bullshit. I don't think that this is a fucking issue at all to me, because it's 26, bro. In 2016, quoting the hard R was considered the norm in the way journalism was done. They had all your white teachers were saying 17 different type of niggas while they were reading fucking Huckleberry Finn to you. Facts. That was the cultural norm. Black people felt uncomfortable. We expressed that, and over time it became apparent that it was just socially unacceptable to even hear the phrase coming out of a white face, and that was just traumatizing to hear. That was not always the case, and so it changed. That Gwyneth Paltrow got canceled for the same shit for like, 2 weeks 10 years ago. The shit changed. Those were not the rules at the time. I'm sorry. The rules were not that at the time.
You just blew my mind, because I could have sworn like you was just like, nah, fuck Fantano. He's a fucking racist. He said the hard R. Even though he was quoting it don't fucking matter. The fact that it came out of his mouth and he's a white man, it don't fucking matter. He's a racist, he's a bigot, and he's a fucking Nazi. I know it. Like,
that's a pretty compelling argument. You might be right. Yeah.
Like, actually,
how'd you think? That's pretty good. That did sound like me. Maybe I should have said that.
Because I feel like that's what niggas like want to hear, especially anyway. But I just feel like that's what a lot of niggas like want to hear. But goddamn, like, because like you said, like that was what people were fucking doing at that time. Is it cool? Absolutely not. Did he address it? Did he acknowledge it? Absolutely. He even brought up them other videos where he actually provided the full context of said videos. And we all know how the internet is when it comes to clips and shit. And we talked about that shit all the time. Like, when people clip a certain thing and it's not the full thing and it gives it a completely different meaning and it looks terrible, bro. Like, this ain't that. That motherfucker is not a racist. Like, this is not that. No, I ain't got no problem cussing out no white man, like cutting off a white nigga or whatever. But like, it's just call a spade a spade. But this nigga is not a fucking spade. It's not a spade.
Yeah, because we've done the same shit. Because I'm like, if okay, because so Hassan Minhaj does this bit where he says in it, and he's saying it because he got called a sand or whatever was the bit on stage. This was within the last 5 years, so he was doing it kind of past when it was considered generally acceptable to quote the slur. And I don't know if that would be acceptable now. At the time, I was kind of like, well, I feel like you could use a slur if you got called it, right?
Yeah.
Like, is that fair? But then I'm like, but I've also told stories where in the story, I was actually telling this story the other day that my dad called me all type of F-bomb, punk, whatever type shits because I was taking lavender baths at 13. And I always thought that when I'm telling that story, if I'm getting called the F word, I can say
Nigga
it.
Dom.
Yeah.
This nigga Dom.
Comments? Concerns?
Yo,
He was right. He was right. He might
have had a point. That's all I'm saying.
Look, call a spade. But I think that
no, it was the age, bro. Like that shit really took it over.
At 13 is crazy.
Yo,
Where you even
know.
last in the bomb
This
throw, my nigga?
This nigga coming out here with his fucking taking his smoking jacket off and shit, putting his monocle and his like fucking bubble cigar like shit,
man.
bubble like pipe.
I had a sage stick. I was fucking smudging through the whole house.
oh
Like,
my god,
this nigga's in 7th grade. What is he? What is this? What is this maggot doing? Walking down, you know what I'm saying? Loud as hell.
It was good. It was good use of the word, if I'm being honest.
It was great. It was great. Honestly, it was great.
I call that neither.
But when I'm telling that story, should I say that word in quotes because I've been called it and I'm telling the story where that happened and somebody's like, why does the homophobe only the one that gets to say it? That's crazy. Like it happened to me, somebody else they got to say it. There, it's cool, that's fine. But I'm telling the story and I can't say it. But that is what it is, and I think that's fine. So to the point of how all this works, when it's acceptable, fine. Once it's not, you don't, and then keep it pushing.
Yeah. And we've debated this in multiple different avenues and in multiple different ways. I think the conversation, let's say you think this is just blatantly racist and blatantly homophobic. I think that at some point the conversation becomes, when have people atoned for past things, right? And like to Eddie's point, not being holier than thou, if the internet had existed before I was like more socially aware, coming from where I'm from and, you know, from south side of Atlanta, like inner city kind of shit, growing up in the early 2000s from that perspective. And social media wasn't really a thing like the way it is now. I say probably until I was about 15, 16. Prior to that shit, like you probably could have found a lot of shit on me that probably wouldn't have been like particularly favorable that I had to learn better to do. Right. So I do think that on some level, in terms of like words, especially in this context, man, you just got to learn to do better. Right. I don't necessarily think people who feel particularly strongly about that need to give like him a pass or whatever. If you don't like him, you don't like him. Cool. But I do think that on some level, people need some space to grow because there's not a single person on here who has not been problematic in some facet. I know I have been. I know that I continue to grow every single day. And I'm not defending this motherfucker. I don't like him. I don't even, that's not the hill I'm trying to die on. I'm making more of a general point. I don't give a fuck about no Anthony Fantano. Like, I don't watch the motherfucker, whatever.
They gonna call you Joey Swole in the comments for sure, though.
Fantastic. But as a part of like people's journey, if you don't think this is like a good facet of his journey, because people who, as I say all the time, people who operate in the public eye have to be judged publicly and they have to atone publicly to meet their public demands. If he hasn't met that bar for a lot of people, cool, whatever. But at some point, people have to be given some space to atone and move forward and learn and grow. And I think that 10 years is enough time to do that. If he has, cool. If he hasn't, then don't fuck with him. And I don't care because I don't like him anyway.
I'm about to say the funniest part about this is like that's a really good like speech if it was like based in like actual criticism or actual critique and not based in just stands being stands. The bigger conversation here is just like its standum is ruining all facets of the internet to a point where we're using out of context like slurs that have been put in context before to get at somebody for things he already atoned for. This isn't the first time he's had to like talk about this. These are things he's talked about publicly and has already apologized, or not necessarily apologized, but like, hey, I made a mistake. I grew from that. And it's like, how many times does a nigga gotta apologize for the same shit?
This is actually making me reverse my stance a little bit. Just the point that you just made. Because I was gonna, Yeah, because I think that, and because as you were saying it, I was like, oh yeah, how many times do you have to apologize? Da, 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 da. But it's like your audience grows, and I think that we do this thing where we act like a listener base or a fan base is a single consciousness. So
But
it's
it's
like
not his audience though, Eddie. It's not his audience.
whoever it is, and tell me whether or not I'm mischaracterizing this, but I'll run through the whole thought and then you tell me.
Yeah.
But when it comes to a situation like this, we're talking about new people. He's not apologizing to the same people he already apologized for. He's not addressing something to the same audience he already addressed 10 years ago. You have a active public profile. It grows and changes across time. So you're talking to new people because new people have found this thing. So I think it's like, I think, the biggest levels of apologies of I'm going to step down and go to rehab. Cool. You do that the one time. But I think readdressing the resurgence of information to a new crowd of people, you just do that for the rest of your career. And I don't think that that's that crazy, especially because he made a 7-minute video. That's not that inconvenient to me. If he was getting dropped from sponsors, then I'd maybe agree with you. But having to drop a 7-minute video every 5 years about some shit that was in the past is fine. It's you microwave nachos. You know what I'm saying? And
I don't know, man. Because I mean, I get where you coming from. But at the same time, I know, fam, if it was you in that same position, you'd be like, all right, goddamn, how many times, like, bro, I have, like, nigga, that was like 20 fucking years ago. Like, bro, I made several videos. Like, look, I'll tell you what, hey, here's the video. Nothing's changed since then.
Yeah, I might do that.
Boom. I'm not beholden to none of you motherfuckers. Like at a certain point, it's like, yo, I know who I know I'm a decent person. I know I'm not a racist. I have clearly atoned for this, said my apologies multiple times. It's like, I don't have to keep doing this for you. If you talk to any therapist, they would tell you the same thing.
But no, but the key to, and maybe you're already saying this, but it's this podcast, we debate, so whatever the fuck. But when you're talking to a therapist and we're talking about atonement, we're talking about two individual consciousnesses. I've apologized to my partner has processed this. When we're talking about a Anthony Fantano with millions of listeners, millions of detractors, dozens of different sponsors doing $1 million deals, these are not single consciousnesses interacting. So if in 10 years, I have to readdress a point that I made 10 years ago on this podcast, am I going to be annoyed? Probably. And am I going to do it? Maybe not. I might say, fuck you, suck my dick. I'm not apologizing again. But I also understand that I can't expect someone whose first interaction with me is some bullshit I said to take an apology that I haven't given to them. I think that's fine.
What the fuck? But why do you feel?
I don't. That's what I'm saying.
But why are you putting that on him if you don't even feel that way?
Well, what you mean?
What I'm saying, like, why are you putting that on him? And again, like, this ain't like a big Anthony Fantano cape in that session, but just the idea behind it and just allowing a motherfucker to move forward. Like, but why are you? I feel like you're putting that expectation on him when you're not even willing to live up to that yourself in real life.
Oh, I don't think so.
So you saying you would or you wouldn't?
I'm saying it's fine to do either. I'm saying that what I'm saying is the same. Okay, let me see if this bridges the gap. This is because we've had this conversation before, and what I've always said is I'm just saying that you cannot expect people to accept an apology you haven't given them. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to give the apology. That's fine, and they don't have to forgive you, and that's fine. Yeah. So if Anthony Fantano didn't address this, and a bunch of people who hated him for whatever reason because they've never heard of him until this situation now don't fuck with his content. That's his choice to make, and I don't condemn him making that choice. That's probably a choice I would make under certain circumstances. I just don't like the idea that we act like people who don't know him need to let it go without him addressing it. If he doesn't want to address it and doesn't want those new fans or doesn't want to talk to those people, that's also fine. But I feel like you're putting the obligation on them, and that makes sense. It doesn't make sense in a reverse way to what you're saying I'm doing.
So we're arguing like what's not actually happened. Like his fans and the people who are mad at this are not his fans. It's anti-fans.
Yeah, kind of who gives a fuck.
That's what I'm saying. So like the idea of like, oh, he needs to apologize 1,000 times. Like he doesn't. Like he only made this video to clear up his name from like the stand-up that is attacking him. The stand-ups who attacking him, he's like, if by the way, the video to me, if you watched it, was more like, if you're new here, I know some of y'all don't even know this happened, but if you're new here, let me explain it to you. Even though I explain this again, which he's doing the thing of like, I will do this video every chance I get because I stand in who I am and I made those mistakes that I learned from them. But it's like, it's not like his fans are like, hey brother, we need an apology from you because what the fuck is this bullshit? It's anti-fandoms, and those people aren't looking for an apology. They're looking to take his platform. So So the idea of like him having to do this every time he makes somebody mad, just makes a stand-up mad, and it's ridiculous because he reviews every album from every artist, and every artist with a big fan base could do this to him. It gets to a point where like we have to collectively look at the idea. We have to collectively look at it and be like, he made some mistakes, move on. Or when we see these things, the internet. So when we see these videos pop up again, we're just like, fuck it. We know what this is.
Well,
like,
okay, but see, this is, and you're much more into how the structure of stan culture than me. So I do understand. I'm kind of on a little bit of a back foot in understanding this. To me, it seems like the idea of dividing the people who are responding to any given situation into purely stans and anti-stans seems incomplete to me, because it seems like there'd be a lot of people who are kind of in an in-betweeny space. They're a casual subscriber to Fantano. I don't know if that's the case, but I don't understand who the we is then. If we're going, the people who listen to him don't give a fuck, the people who don't listen to him don't want an apology, then who is the we? Because the people who yeah, you see what I'm saying?
The we and what I forgot,
because you're saying we need to let it go, but
yeah, okay.
We, in terms of his listeners, already have. Everybody who is going to listen to him already has. So the instruction that you're inviting people to do has already been followed.
I think I wrote it down. You said he has to do this every 5 years because there were new people. There were going to be new people and new fans who don't know about this, and like they have to do it. And I was like, well, like the only way they would know about it if we, the like tastemakers and people on the internet, make it a big thing. Like the only reason you know about this is because we, the internet populace, interacted with it and made it a thing again. Like if we just
okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, so you're saying don't make it a big enough thing that Anthony Fantano's listeners require it to be addressed. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yes, exactly. Because it's a petty stand-up doing petty stand-up shit. So it's like us having a conversation, I think is useful about it. It's useful because I do think there are people who are interacting with it and like trying to understand what happened and who don't know anything. Like for example, Eddie, like you obviously are not that deep into hip hop Twitter.
I don't give a fuck about none of this. Yeah.
So you're like, what?
Don't give a fuck about, but I'm not in it yet.
Yeah, you don't care. You don't care in a sense of like, I don't. This isn't my pocket of the internet, and that's fine. Like we all have different pockets. But let's say somebody who's further out of this pocket of the internet who doesn't know at all see this, and they're like, oh, what the fuck is this about? Is it the guy that reviewed that Tate McRae album I like? He gave it an 8. Is he racist now? When the fuck did that happen? That person will only find the video when people like you and I interact with and get to the point where they can see it. But if it just exists in stan culture, if that video never leaves King's Jared account, I think that video got 20 million views on Twitter. If it never leaves there, it never becomes a conversation. But you and I think now we're able to look at it and be like, oh, we know the context. We shouldn't interact with this. I think going forward, we should look at these moments like, yeah. But also I do think it is important to interrogate every white boy for saying the N-word. We do got to interrogate it. And at all costs. So I'm not even. No, I take it back. He got it. He do got it. Atone for this every time. I'm back in
every 10 years. That's what I'm saying. Come on, man.
Dismantle his whole fucking argument.
Thank you.
I did
because I'm
I talked myself into the corner.
That's what I'm saying. Because I can see you backing up, and I'm like, bro, you just But I think my stance is you've now made me change my mind again the other direction to a new format. I now think all white people should be able to say nigga and no black people should. That's not what I now think. No, I think that I understand completely the point of the people who are responsible for not blowing up bullshit when they could just do a little bit of research and easily dismiss it, have an obligation to do so. And if they were to do so, then people like Fantano would not be in a position to have to regularly apologize for shit that's already been addressed. I think that makes sense. Yeah.
All right, fellas, I gotta dip out. Thank y'all for having me, though.
Yo, if you want to see the rest of this episode, the entire thing that we did with Dom, the entire stream that we did with Dom, talked about a whole bunch of stuff. All you got to do is sign up to either Patreon or YouTube members, and you get to watch the entire fucking thing. You also get direct access to our Discord community where you can talk to us directly, as well as other like-minded fans of the podcast. And you get 10% discount on a bunch of our merchandise and products. Grab that at patreon.com/waving the red flag or by hitting the join button on YouTube. That's it.